The process we had to follow to get this interactive 360 video uploaded to YouTube was not quite as straightforward as I had anticipated. We used the DJI Studio app on a laptop. The videos we recorded were from the Osmo 360 as well as the Avata 360. I also added a music track as well as Kelly's voiceover, but I ran into some issues and limitations when using DJI Studio. So let me just show you what ended up happening. We already have an overview video showing how to process 360 clips from DJI. Our assumption in that video is that we're using DJI Studio just to add keyframes and reframe the shots in order to export them to be used later in a standard video editor. In this video, DJI Studio is the final step before uploading to YouTube. In DJI Studio, the first thing we did after creating a project was to import the Osmo 360 video clips, which actually contained audio. Now here's where you start to run into limitations of the controls. The audio seems to be embedded within this video. You can change the levels if you highlight the clip. You can mute it altogether, and you can add your own music files. DJI has a bunch that you can download and then you can just drag and drop below the video. Or you can add your own audio by clicking on Import under the Music tab. And then here you can just drag and drop your audio files. However, notice I'm dragging a WAV file. Format is not supported. I discovered that MP3 and M4A are supported. After the Osmo 360 footage where Kelly was talking, we went into the drone footage. I had Kelly record a voiceover, which then I would drag underneath the video clips. Here are a couple of limitations that I ran into. After selecting the audio clip, I can fade in and fade out. I can change the volume, but that's pretty much it when it comes to audio control. I couldn't figure out a way to crossfade, and even though I can fade in and out, the length of the audio fade, as you can see here, seems to be set at a certain length that cannot be changed. So that's a limitation that I discovered. Another limitation was that I wanted to not only have a voiceover track, but have some music underneath. So when I decided to drag a music file that I had imported, I clicked on it, dragged, and I wanted to add it below, but it said there's not enough space. So it seems as if there's only one audio and one video track, but there's also text track. So I thought, okay, great, I can add some text on screen. This does work if you're wanting to export as a standard flattened video, but if you want it to be interactive, the text seems to just disappear. I also found the transition tab, which I can drag and drop between the clips, and now we have a more fun transition rather than a cut. Exporting in 360 gets rid of transitions. I knew that I wanted to have a music track as well as Kelly's voiceover in this project, so I realized I had to use another program to combine those two audio files, export, and then bring them back into DJI Studio. One other thing I noticed was for the drone clips, even though the final export is interactive and you can pan around and look where you want, the starting position will be the drone's forward orientation. So if you're filming like this, what you see out of the front of the drone is where the video clip will start. And with the Osmo 360, basically what you see opposite of the screen shooting that way will be the default view from this camera. So if you try to add any keyframes and you want to do something fun like that, it will make zero difference in the export. So don't bother adding keyframes if you want the video to be an interactive 360 video. So once all the editing was done, I was ready to export. I clicked on export and selected panoramic video. Then I changed the resolution to 8K. Hopefully that'll give the best experience on YouTube. And then I set the bitrate to high. And then I chose where I wanted to export and then named the file and clicked on export. Once that process was done, it created an MP4 file, which if you play on the computer, might just look like a standard video except really stretched and funky looking. But if you upload that file to YouTube, It'll process for however long it needs. It will become an interactive 360 video where the viewer can pan around and choose wherever they want to look. Now what's interesting is it does not seem as if you can create those tiny planet or crystal ball effects while watching on YouTube. You're kind of stuck at a certain zoom level, but it's still kind of an interesting experience. So that was a basic overview of using the DJI Studio app to export an interactive 360 video. Thanks for watching Ready Set Drone. See you next time.